Stanbrough, just a little taste of Stanbrough. I'm Krista, and today we are making lemon meringue pie. Delicious. I really love lemons. I like using them in different things. I like to squeeze them over my fish or tarts or cookies. I don't know, I have a thing about lemons. So anyway, so what we're going to do today is we're going to make this pie together. I'm hoping that you'll join me and do this with me. What I have right here are 2 eggs. These are just the egg yolks. And I've talked to you guys about this before in other videos, where sometimes I let things come up to room temperature before I use them, sometimes I don't. In this case, with a lemon meringue pie, I do let the eggs come up to room temperature. So if you never had to separate the egg yolk from the egg white, here you are. So I'm gonna crack it on the side of here, and then I'm gonna open it up. Look at, watch this. Open it up this way, and I'm gonna let all the yolk run into the other container. So once I think I've got all of the yolk in there, the white, you know what I mean, then I will pour the actual yolk into this bowl. There we go. So I got three eggs in that bowl, 3 egg yolks and 3 egg whites, and they are separated. And the egg whites are what you use to make that meringue, which is the part on the top. So when I do that, you have to mix this. And so I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and keep it cold, because that's what's going to make the difference in how well the meringue mixes up. So I will keep those in there for now, and then I'm going to slightly beat these up a little bit. Nothing drastic. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the stove, and in a pot I have 1.5 cups of sugar, I have 1.5 cups of water, and I have 1/3 cup of cornstarch. So we're going to go over there and we're going to cook this for a little while. Come on. All right. So it's going to take a few minutes to get this together. But it's kind of like the strawberry pie that we made. Remember, we had that on the stove? And we had strawberries in there with the water and the sugar and the cornstarch. Same concept. For this pie, you know, some recipes will tell you can use that bottled lemon juice. We don't use bottled lemon juice for a lemon meringue pie. Use real lemons. It makes a huge difference in the taste. It tastes so much better when you use a real lemon. Whew. Don't use the bottle stuff. Use the bottle stuff for something else. And so what I did today, you know, I only need about, I think it's 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. But I bought like a whole bag of lemons. And so what I do is I get all the lemons squeezed, and then I use 4 tablespoons for the pie, and what do I do with the rest? Make lemonade, of course. Makes no sense, right? All right, so while this is cooking, it's taking its time. We are going to squeeze a lemon, because I think I got a couple of minutes on this. So come over here on this side for me, and you'll see that I have lemon here. This right here is the actual lemon rind. It calls for 1.5 tablespoons of lemon rind. This is the 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. And this is 3 tablespoons of real butter, because that's the only thing we use around here is real butter. So what I did was I used this grater. These things are really cool to use. If you don't have one that's nice and small like this, you can use your big box grater, but it's going to take a little bit more work to get the rind into the bowl. But you just basically come down the side like that, okay? Right? And then it'll be on this side, and you can just tap it out. Don't take too much of it off, and then it's all white. I mean, like completely white. We don't want the white stuff. That part is really bitter, and it won't make your pie taste really good. We just want the yellow. So pay attention to what you're doing, and then you'll get the part that you really need, okay? All right, so let's go back over and check our stove, because I hear it over here making noise. It's starting to come together. And we're going to boil this. We're going to cook this until it boils and thickens. And then once it thickens, I'm going to let it boil for 1 minute more, and then we're going to turn the stove off. Okay? All right. think next to the strawberry pie, the lemon pie is probably my favorite. And you know, everybody doesn't like the meringue or that white part that's on the top. You don't have to make the white part on the top if you don't like it. Make it how you want to make it. You know, make the lemon part. If you wanted to do this like tarts, you could do it like tarts. You could get like a 13 by 9 pan and then have like a graham cracker crust and pour this over it. It'll be the same thing. In our case, we're going to be doing it in a pie pan. And you guys know how I feel about making pie crust. It's not my favorite thing to do, but a homemade pie crust tastes so much better than the ones you buy in the store. But you really have to practice it. So when I feel like doing one from scratch, I do. When I don't, I buy one. All right? All right, so come over here. You can see where it's starting to boil now. You see that? It's starting to thicken. It's looking pretty good. Ooh. I think it's coming together. Let's see. See? Nice and thick, all right? So I'm gonna give this maybe 30 more seconds like this, and then we're gonna turn the stove off. Oh yeah, ooh-wee. I think it's ready. It is definitely ready. So I'm gonna cut this off. And it's just thick, just like the other one. All right, nice. All right, so she said, well, what do you do next, Krista? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take that bowl with the egg yolks in it. Let me grab it. And what we're gonna do is we are going to what we would call temper the eggs. So I don't wanna put all of this in there because what will happen is the eggs will scramble. We don't want scrambled eggs, right? But we do want a good pie. So I will take just a little bit of this, put it in with these eggs, mix it up, and then once it comes to a good temperature, I'll pour it back in and mix the rest together. All right, so here we go. This is like a right-handed pot. So I'm just gonna put a little bit, not much at all, because I don't wanna scramble my eggs. And then can you see that? So I put a little bit in there. I'll put a little bit more. Okay, and stir that up. Good. All right. And look, if you make this and you scramble the eggs, so what? Start over. It's okay. We make mistakes, and that's okay. Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes better. Thank you, Bishop Bronner. Okay, so now we're going to pour all of this egg mixture back into this pot, or back into the pot. And I'm mixing it up as I go. I don't have scrambled eggs. Shoo! Because that would have been embarrassing, huh? I'm going to get all of it in here. Like this. Good. Nice job, Krista. Oh, thank you. So good. All right. So you can look inside the pot and you can see I've mixed this up. And now I'm going to cook this again for about a minute. All right. Remember, this is sugar and cornstarch and water. It's extremely hot. This is not the time to taste anything. All right. So I'm going to turn my heat back on. This time I got it on low. You look at that. I'm going to grab what we need from over here. I love this pie. It's such a good pie. All right. Okay. All right. Let me turn it up now that I'm over here watching it. Try not to walk away from the stove when you're cooking, my young people. You guys know we do these videos for our family. We do them because, you know, there used to be a time when you would cook and you'd be at the stove with your mom or you'd be at the stove with your grandmother, and it doesn't really happen like it used to happen. And so this is my way of having my children with me at the stove, or my nieces or anybody else that wants to be here with me and learn how to do a couple of things in the kitchen. I'm not a trained chef, and I'm sure you've noticed that by now, but I do love to cook. All right, so if you look now, it's been boiling here, I don't know, 30 seconds. If you're not sure and you're an exact person, like some folks I know, use a timer. It's okay to use a timer. All right, this looks really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn my stove off. And then we're gonna add the rest of these items. They look good. All right, so let's turn this off. And now we're gonna add that 3 tablespoons of butter I showed you earlier. We're gonna add our lemon juice, 4 tablespoons. And this is about 1.5 tablespoons of the actual rind from the lemon. I just didn't put this part in there, but I do now, and I can tell the difference. I used to think, I don't know what that's gonna taste like with lemon rind in there, and I wouldn't put it in there, but actually, it makes it better. You may think differently than I do, I don't know. All right. So we're almost there. We're gonna mix this up, and once it's mixed up, we're gonna put it in the pie shell or the pie pan, and then I'll be right back and we'll talk about how to make that meringue. See you in a few. Okay, everybody, so now we're gonna make the meringue that goes on top of the pie. And so what I have here, these are the 3 egg whites. Remember, we used the yolks in the pie. Now I'm going to use the whites to make the meringue. So I'm putting those into a bowl. And then right here, I have a 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. So I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to use my hand mixer and just mix this up, adding in sugar as I go along. So this is 6 tablespoons of sugar right here. And I'll add in a little bit at a time. It'll get frothy, and then as it gets closer and closer to the end, I should be able to put all the sugar in. And it should come out to be very stiff peaks and shiny and pretty. And then we'll put it on top of the pie, putting it back in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes on 400 degrees. And then it should have a nice brown, kind of brown top to it. And we'll take it out, let it cool, and then we'll have pie. So that's what we're gonna do here, mix it. See what we got now. I say go for it, right? Okay. All right, so a couple of tips here about making meringue. This bowl, I had it in the refrigerator before I started. I kept my egg whites in the refrigerator until I started to beat them. And I always do that when I'm going to be whipping egg whites and making them frothy and peaky like this, because it takes less time. So if my egg whites were room temperature, this would have took longer. Okay. All right, so now we have our pie. Remember our lemon meringue, our lemon that we made earlier with the lemon zest and the lemon juice and the butter and all that good stuff. So now we're going to put the meringue on the top of it, and we're going to put it in the oven. And for those of you thinking, well, why are you putting it in the oven? Well, that's because we have eggs in here. So remember, earlier when I put the egg yolks into the mixture on the stove, and then I cooked it another minute? So make sure the eggs are cooked. You don't want to eat raw eggs. Although I know there are certain people who do, and that's your business, but not me. Okay. So I'm going to put this on here, try to make it pretty. Try to make it pretty anyway. Ooh, it looks so good. I want to eat it now. Oh, sorry. Y'all know I sing when I get happy about my food. So I'm going to try to make sure that the meringue is touching the pie crust on the sides. I know you're saying, well, why would you do that? The reason I'm doing that is because I learned over the years that when it doesn't touch the edge, it starts to come away and it might shrink up. But when I, so it may start out all the way close to the edge but not touching it. And then when you put it in the oven, you take it back out, the meringue is not all the way to the edge. It looks like you got an edge going around. All right. I hope that makes sense. I'm sure y'all will question me if it doesn't. All right. So that's our pie. We're going to stick this in the oven. And about 10 minutes from now, I'll come back and I'll show you exactly what it should look like when it's done. Okay, we're back and our pie is complete. We're going to cut it. I got some tasters who have been threatening me for a while because they want this pie. So I'm going to cut it. What I did was, is after it cooled, remember we had it in the oven, and then after it cooled off, I put it in the refrigerator to make sure that it had firmed up like it was supposed to. So we're going to see together if it turned out. Oh, yes. Let there be pie. That's pretty. Okay. Oh, I left the corner in here. Sorry. All right. I'm cutting me a piece of pie. There's a taster. And another taster sticking their hand in there. Oh, it's getting rough around here. Getting rough. Hey, let her have some pie. My Lord.
That's a good pie.
See, look on the inside. Can you see the inside? I really need my camera person, but she on break. All right, let me get a fork.
Can I get a slice?
Oh, well, yes. Sorry.
I think this slice is too small.
All right, one more slice for the pie maker.
I don't personally like it.
That's why I love it around here.
So, Raina, you don't like the white part, right?
Nope. Disgusting.
But everybody likes the lemon part.
I like the whole part.
Yeah, I like it all myself. Okay. Well, we thank you guys for joining us. We're going to go eat our pie
The
now.
filling is delicious.
Especially that homemade crust.
Oh, you're so sweet, dude. All right, till next time, guys. See you next video.
Hit the like button.
Subscribe, share, all of that.